Now, there was something I read this week about friendships. And I often quote in this podcast a Dale Carnegie quote, which is, and this is from his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Right.
Have you read that?
Yes.
Have you read it, Kareem?
I have not.
JJ? You've read it, JJ?
Yeah. I did when I was in college.
John Dolder, have you read it?
Maybe, I don't know.
Speaking to the mic.
I am speaking. Hang on. Hello, hello.
There you
There
are.
we go. Fuck, I can't remember.
You may not have read it.
Yeah, I might have not.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, given you can't remember if you read it or not,
yeah.
do you think it's been working
I
on
mean, if I read it, it would probably influence me. So, you know,
Right.
enough to remember. But
So one of his main quotes is, all else, but this is more a business book, to be honest with you, than it is just a regular friendship book, but it applies to both worlds. And in fact, he's saying, yo, the more you invest in your friendships and relationships, the more it's going to improve your life overall, including business. And one of his main quotes is, and this is the one thing I took away from that book so powerfully, all else being equal, people would rather do business with their friends.
100%.
Yeah.
Do you distinctly recall that message from the book, JJ?
I don't remember that message, but
Well, shit, what the hell
I
would you walk away with?
remember the book. I bought it for my kids.
Oh, yeah?
But,
Really? The only thing I remember from the book is just remember everybody's name, and then you'll
that's
go
what
to the top.
I remember that too, yeah. People love to hear their name, Lancey.
Yeah,
Lancey,
they love
people
it.
love to
They
hear their
love
name.
it.
Lancey, let me tell you how bad people... If you only knew, Lancey, how much people love to hear their name.
He's about to ask you for money.
I'm about to orgasm.
you should look at the bottom of the table.
I don't need to. It's coming right through the table. Yeah, you're right. People love to hear their names. But so all else being equal. So then I sent you all an article that I was reading about friendships and how important they are. I don't know if you all saw that. But yeah, I think there's something to, the world today where we have a whole lot of quantity of friends. But I think there's very few, often, people in my life and in other people's lives, very few people in my life that I can be vulnerable with, like just one or two or three friends that I can just literally tell them anything.
Right.
They'll respond to every text. And lo and behold, Lancey, me and you had an issue this week.
Yeah, I was fired up.
Lancey texted me literally 9 days ago. Wednesday. Not 2 days ago Wednesday, 10 days ago Wednesday, 9 days ago Wednesday.
Is that what it was?
I believe so.
Like I said, I wasn't keeping stats on it.
I was.
So I was not actually mad at Almer.
That's nice of you because you assume the best. But what happened was I was sick. I was down and out. I was isolating myself. I was upset. Like, why am I so sick? I'm sick a second time. And so I didn't respond to Lancey's text. Not just that Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. It just sat out there. And the guy, Lancey's like, yo, I miss you, man. Let's grab some coffee or something. No, I just, Saturday, Sunday, nothing. Monday, nothing. Tuesday, nothing. Finally, like late Tuesday, I'm like, dude, what is up with me? I like this guy a lot. And here I am not responding to him. That is totally damaging our friendship. This guy can't trust that I'm going to be there for him or respond to him. And so it had me thinking about friendships a lot ever since that moment. I sent him a message back, explaining my situation, apologizing, and then picked up the phone and called him too. I'm like, yo, if you never talk to me, I get it. I understand. I totally kind of left you hanging there. And he assumed the best. He's like, yo, you're a dude who's running a business and you're trying to do comedy and you have a wife and children that you're prioritizing. Like, a million things could come up. So I didn't, so he assumed the best. But it made me think like, yo, if that's how I handle friendships and relationships, that's going to directly impact my success in life and specifically in business. And I wanted to just throw that out there to see like what you all experiences with that, with friendships in general. Is it easy? Is it hard for you to make friends, like real friends, not Facebook friends? And if so, have friendships impacted your success in business or in the world? I don't know. Does that bring up anything for anyone?
I feel like for a long time, I think still today, I don't think I've been on a formal interview for a job.
Same.
So, and the reason is because friends know people who say, hey, he's a good guy, you can hire him and trust him. And then when they were like, "Oh, well, coming from you, that's good." So, long story short, I'm horrible at it. Interviews, probably. I don't know.
Because you rely on your friendships. Yeah, that's actually hugely beneficial.
Right.
I think there's a divide. Like you were saying, there's like the really close friends that you have very few of, and it's sometimes almost not a good idea to do business with them, because then if something does go wrong, then it's putting your friendship at stake.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side, Facebook friends, it's like, oh, I saw someone just open something and they might need like help and I need a job, so now I have
reach
a
out
job.
to them. Yeah.
So I think it's good to know a lot of people, but yeah, keep the core friendships more as like a mental health. Like,
But I think also look at it this way. Let's say you're in a job like you were, and you're the people you work with or your clients, right? For example, you were working as a server at a restaurant, right?
Right.
At some point, there's gonna be some regulars, and they're gonna start to look at you as like, I like this guy Lancey,
Yeah.
almost like family. Like I want to go to wherever you're working at, restaurant you're working at, to go see Lancey at this point. It's not even for the burger or whatever, you know?
Right.
Those people could have an impact on your life if you connect with them
Right.
and you're willing to open up with them and develop a deeper friendship. That was true for me at JP Morgan. With some of my clients, I would end up just hanging out with them as friends. And it had a big impact on my business. JJ, does any of this resonate with you?
Absolutely. I mean, my last career, my job was to build relationships with financial advisors, and building relationships, just like you said with your clients when you're at JP Morgan, you become friends with folks that you like hanging out with. And, sometimes it's just, all right, this is someone that I'll add to my network. LinkedIn is pretty handy for that. You can just connect to somebody and not have a deep relationship, just have that acquaintance connection. But it's good to have those because you never know what you're going to be doing where that might be a connection you need. I know with what I've been doing the last year, it's a lot of people that maybe I only met once, but they see something on social media and then they share it with someone and then the word spreads. But at the same time, like you'd said, you maybe only have the smaller number of people that you really have that deep relationship with. You'd mentioned your Dale Carnegie that people like to do business with friends. I always wonder, is that true or not? Because, I don't know if I want to do money management type business with my closest friends all the time. I'd rather just keep that relationship where it is sometimes. So I think it depends on what your business is. But what's been interesting to me is watching people that, as I moved out of that corporate world where I was calling on them as a salesperson, where I could take them out to drinks and pay for lunch and that sort of thing, seeing, all right, who is still my friend now that I'm not calling on when I'm just calling on them,
Right.
versus that business relationship. And I've seen, maybe some of these relationships that I thought were deeper really aren't. But I've also found the flip side, some that I didn't realize that were as deep as they are.
Interesting.
So both ways.
All right, I want to make a clear distinction here because I've heard Kareem say it and JJ say it. The Dale Carnegie thing, from my opinion, is less, hey, let my old buddy from grade school, let me get him to be one of my clients as a money manager. I don't think that's necessarily what I'm talking about. That could happen. I'm okay with that in some circumstances, but I agree with you guys that may not be the move. What I'm saying is you're in your life already. All of us are in some kind of business in some kind of way, whether it's at your job or whatever, And I'm saying, instead of treating people as clients, actually begin to be intentional about forming relationships with them.
Right.
You're talking to them a lot already, but be intentional about forming a relationship with them. The benefit of that is the following. So, JJ, you used to talk to financial advisors, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sure you had some clients where you were intentional, like this guy's just cool. Like I just want to talk to this guy more than most of my other clients because somehow we connect. And so you build an intentional relationship. You make an extra trip just for him or her, and now that guy, when he's figuring out what he wants to buy, does he want to buy JJ's mutual funds? Or does he want to buy Bob's mutual funds? it's gonna probably be a pretty quick answer for him. It's like, no, I'd rather buy JJ's actually because like I think it's a good product, but also I like JJ a lot and I want to see him succeed and win. That's kind of the reverse I'm looking at. Is not the longtime friend make him a client. I'm saying you already have a life and clients. You know, intentionally build deeper relationships with them. I believe that'll impact your success, and they'll want to see you win more. What Kareem and JJ, do you guys understand that distinction?
No, absolutely. It's not just business. When I'm at my best, I try to be that way in general, just with what I'm doing, just be aware of who's sitting next to you and what their story might be. I'm not always that way, but when I'm at my best, I'm intentional like that, and you try to build those connections.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, once you start separating like strictly business and like being a human being to other people, then you're gonna see that people aren't like so happy to work with you.
Yeah, they're not responsive, right?
But if like I treat you as like, oh, you're another person, you came to me because I have something that you need, and I'm gonna sit down and help you achieve your goal, whether it be buy a drink or like do something a lot bigger with like millions of dollars. Then it's like a human to human interaction that like can grow and benefit both of you.
Right.
But then also in general, it is a lot easier for me to call up one of my friends and be like, hey, I need to buy this, than it is to call up a completely random person and be like, yo.
Full agreement. I'm the same way. Yeah, so that was that friendship article that I saw. And I think there were some tips on there, like 5 ways to deepen those relationships. Did you guys see that article?
I did. I glanced at it there.
All right, so here's number 1, right? Create a foundation of security, i.e., answer that text.
Right.
He read that and he's like, I'm so sorry, Lancey.
So be consistent, right? Friends that drift in and out of your life, probably not ones you want to be intentional about. Or if I'm drifting in and out of someone's life, that's not going to create a depth there. Being available, right? Hey, let's grab coffee sometime, and I'm never available. It's probably not going to create a deep relationship. Or same with a client if you're not responsive to the client, you know. So those are some examples about creating a foundation of security. It's kind of responsiveness.
Right.
Paying close attention, number 2. That's how you build a deeper relationship. So this can also apply with your clients in business or clients at a restaurant or whatever. That helps build what they say is intimacy. So if you start paying attention to someone's like detailed, specific nuances about who they are,
right,
and you pick up on that and you respond to those, they feel like, yo, this is powerful. Like, I appreciate this person.
Yeah. I used to go to a diner where they knew what I wanted before I would sit down. I wouldn't even order. I didn't order my food for like a year.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so they would just bring me my iced tea and my chicken omelet that I liked, and no questions asked. And that makes there were times where I went in there and I didn't even want that, but I was like, no, I'm just gonna eat it because I don't want to mess up the camaraderie I have with the staff here.
And that's gonna impact their tip, the business you do with them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Impacting everything.
Yeah.
At my old job, the COO of the company, we were just like talking about random business.
You said
things.
The COO?
Yeah, COO. Was talking to me and he goes like, someone came into his office and like said something and then they started talking and he goes like, man, one of the most important things that I awkwardly learned from a stripper was whenever you tell a stripper something, she'd be like, oh my God, I know someone from the same place. Because all of a sudden you have something in common and then you feel a more like connection to someone and you're going to give her more money because of that reason. So whenever someone comes into his office,
her doing a good job paying attention to her customers.
We can learn so much from this. We need to do some some work.
You know, the next podcast obviously has to be from a strip club.
Right.
That's
Field trip.
so like whenever someone comes into his office and goes like, yeah, I'm from this city and like I do this and this, and then he'd be like, oh no,
I know someone from
my
that
cousin
city.
lives in
her
that
name
city.
is Bubbles.
my girlfriend.
But yeah, and then that way, like building connections with people.
Totally. It says paying full attention is not just knowing those things, but it's also literally paying full attention. Like, and this is something beautiful from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that I learned in my faith as a Muslim.
Say the same thing.
Okay, so this article is saying pay full attention, like your face muscles, your face, your eye contact is all turned towards this person. And that will have a huge impact on the intimacy and connection you have with this person.
Okay.
And so the Prophet, peace be upon him, would literally, and this was a man, right, who literally a whole religion and billions of people have followed him now for 1,400 years. But no matter what, he would turn no matter who was talking to him, he would turn his whole body, and he'd have a person would have his full attention, the way you have my full attention right now, And I learned that from him, or at least reading that, and I was like, yeah, wow, that does have an impact on my relationships when I do that with people. And so that's what this article's saying as well, to build those relationships with friends or just making clients better friends,
That's interesting. And also, I feel like even if you're not a part of that relationship, you see that in people. You can see people squaring up, giving their full attention, and you're like, oh, well, that's a person who is 100% attentive to what they're doing right now.
I gotta admit, when a person I'm with jumps on their phone right in front of me without like warning me, just kind of doing it,
yeah,
I have not risen above douchebag Amr. I go straight into being judgmental. I'm like, fuck this person. Like this person doesn't want to be with me. And for all I know, like their mom's in the hospital and they need like a kidney transplant, and they're texting, and I'm like,
they're probably texting a friend back that they.
They're probably saying like, I'm with this dude Amr. I really don't want to be here right now.
I think that also carries over into how companies train their employees.
Oh, really?
I mean, like you said, you go to an Apple store and you talk to like 7 people, and like you want to talk to them for the rest of your, like they're like, what do you need? What happened to your computer? Blah, blah, blah. And then we walked into JCPenney and my mom's like, I need this shirt in this size. The lady was like on a walkie-talkie talking to some other guy. Some other random person's like, can I take my bathroom break now? It's like, bro, like, are you not paying attention to a conversation? Like,
yeah.
So it's like completely different.
Totally. You're right. All right. The next one they say is let yourself be known. You want to form deeper relationships and have friendships. And this is hard as adults to make friends. But they basically say let yourself be known. They're saying like, yo, you got to let people see you for who you are, the truth. Like most of us want to, I'm the king of this. I want to come off as cooler and smarter than I really am, But the truth is, sometimes I like to watch Frozen with my daughter, and I'm like, fuck, this is an amazing movie. I love this shit. And I should just admit that. Like, I'm not too cool to watch Frozen, The drama between Elsa and Anna is like a deep story plot that I'm like, this is amazing. But they're saying like, yeah, like show people who you really are. If you really like to watch Honey Boo Boo or whatever, like you can admit that, that is what will help you.
Can you though?
What? Yeah, you can. Do you do that, JJ, in some of your relationships or like with your client relationship? Like, do you start to kind of let your hair down a little bit?
Oh yeah, I think that's the difference between the friendships and just people that you're acquainted with is, you let your friends into your real world,
right?
Because everybody's normal till you get to know them. Then you find out none of us are.
Right.
JJ, tell us something you've never told anyone before. We're going to get to the bottom of some friendships.
Let's take this to the next level.
Yeah.
I've known you for an hour, JJ. What are you withholding?